Felicia.
Fresh.
It's here.
It's here, finally.
You've been waiting a while for this, haven't you?
We've been waiting since what, April?
This is the Aeon Laser USA MIRA 9S
Redline.
Yeah. Tell these people at home what this does for people who are uninitiated to laser cutting.
This is a laser cutter and engraver.
And what does it do?
It laser cuts and
engraves.
engraves.
Now, what kind of materials are we talking?
You can do wood, acrylic, you can engrave tumblers, glass.
Glass?
Glass.
So this is a different kind of technology because you've been working with X-Tool, We Create, and some other brands. Now, this is a little bit different. Now, what's the difference between
This is a CO2 laser. That's the big delta.
So what does that mean?
This is those were diode lasers. This is a CO2. And you can explain what a CO2 is.
CO2 is carbon dioxide in a glass or a ceramic or metal tube. This is a glass tube, so this is really meant for cutting. Most of our work is going to be cutting.
This is a 100-watt glass tube we have in this
So
machine.
this is going to slice through, I heard it could slice through one inch thick wood.
I think we should test it.
Yeah, so we've done what, quarter inch already? Quarter inch and eighth inch?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a powerhouse of a machine if you want to make signs. What else do you make with these? Ornaments?
You signs, or you can just make just about anything.
Your tumblers?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to jump in here. So getting it from the factory, we live where?
Exactly, we live 15 minutes away from Aeon Laser USA's warehouse, right here in Melbourne, Florida.
So they invited us to come out, hey, you guys want to take a tour of the warehouse and pick this thing up? We're like, yeah, let's do that.
Right.
So we went out there, they showed us around some of the new innovations. It's incredible what they've got going on there. We'll tell you about on this channel and one of our other channels in the next coming weeks. It's incredible what they're in. We've actually moved ahead already, technology-wise. You picked it up there. Pretty interesting experience, or?
Absolutely. We met the customer service manager, EJ. He was fantastic.
We'll
Sarah
show him
was
later
there.
in this video too.
Yeah. Yep, we met Sarah. She was there. We also met Lek, the vice president.
Yeah.
It was great. And you know, every single person that we met there and we talked to were so happy to be
friendly,
there.
Super happy.
Friendly. It just was a really nice work environment.
Yeah, I didn't really expect that. You know, you expect to walk in a warehouse where people make, I don't know, industrial ththings like that, and they're kind of like straight-laced and boring. But these people are really warm and friendly and inviting.
Absolutely,
It was really
every single one of them. Everybody we went past said hi. There was just a friendly crew.
You still feel like you made the right, because we talked to a lot of these vendors before we made the decision to go with Aeon. You still feel like you made the right choice?
We did, and I do believe we made the right choice. We even went to, over the summer, we went to, I think they called it Camp Aeon, and we went to their showroom, which is different than their warehouse, and they have all of their Aeon machines, the Redline Series, the new machines, in that showroom. But they also have competitor models.
Yeah.
So we got to go around and see the features of the new Redline Series machines, from the MIRAs to the Novas. But then we also got to test how they performed against the competitors. There was Thunder, Omtech, Epilogue, and more. I can't remember them all.
All of them right there in that showroom.
They're all right there. And it just really solidified, for me at least, I'm not sure about you.
When they showed the demonstrations, this thing was far and above the best technology.
Absolutely.
So Felicia, you get it out of the truck here. The movers put it down. We had to hire movers. This thing's 530 some pounds plus.
It was amazing to watch them lift this thing.
That's in this video too, so stick around and want to see that. So by the time they laid it down in your garage, how long to get it uncrated and make your first cut?
Just over an hour.
Wow, that's pretty good. So pretty simple to use, pretty simple to set up?
It was very simple, actually.
And what software do you use with this?
Lightburn.
And it was pretty easy to connect it via Lightburn and saw it right away?
It was pretty simple.
Well, darn it, let's go ahead and make a cut and show these people how this thing works. The Aeon Laser USA MIRA 9S
Redline.
Let's do it.
The Aeon MIRA 9S Redline features a 24 by 36 inch workspace and a touchscreen control panel on top. It fires at 1200 millimeters per second with a glass tube. Our first project was to use the material test file provided with the machine. It's the same file that Aeon used during their quality control check process. Aeon's warehouse is located in Melbourne, Florida, and because we live so close, we drove there to pick up our machine and ask a few questions.
After shopping for the best laser engraver on the market, we decided to go with Aeon Laser USA. You've got a showroom where you've acquired several competing laser engravers. We've been there and tried the other brands ourselves. Has this been a valuable learning experience for Aeon and its customers?
Yeah, it's been super important for us to learn firsthand, the shortcomings, the positives, and really just focus in on trying to improve our quality of machine with that information.
It's been a few months since we ordered. These machines are manufactured at the Aeon factory and have quite a long journey to get here. What does Aeon Laser USA do when the machine arrives here and before it gets delivered to the final customer?
I guess that depends on the machine, right? So your Redlines are going to get the really rugged QC, 190 plus points, check every wire, check every screw, double check them, that kind of thing. Our Signature Series, though, those get actually reassembled in the States. So US parts, things like that, that's what we do for those.
We're all about American manufacturing jobs. Let's talk about the Aeon EMP Signature Series lasers. You essentially rebuild the Signature Series machines using US labor, US made parts, so they're faster, better quality, and more reliable. What parts are manufactured in the US and what exactly do you assemble here?
Yeah, we reassemble pretty much the vast majority of it, from the handmade wire harnesses to the aluminum gantry rails. Everything in between is really what we're working on. The high-speed servo motors, the ceramic core RF, those will be the big ones that we're really pushing for on the US manufacturing side. Other than that, this is our warehouse, this is our point of operations. Everything is US based when it comes to our technicians.
So the Aeon Redline or Signature Series is finally ready to roll. Back into the crate it goes. We've got a MIRA 9 S Redline Series heading to our garage today. What do Aeon Laser USA customers need to know about the shipping and delivery process?
Great question. That's probably the question people don't ask enough. Big thing to remember, that machine's heavy, right? We're talking with the crate, you're getting around 600 pounds, things like that. So if you don't have the machinery, you need the manpower, and with enough people, it's definitely doable. Those are the big ones. The other thing to consider is once we hand that machine to the shipper, we have far less control over it than it might seem. A big part of it's being proactive. When you get those emails to schedule your pickup, make sure you're on time with it.
What do customers need to consider when installing a CO2 laser in their home, garage, or workshop?
The biggest thing is just power requirements, right? You really want a 20 amp dedicated breaker, right? So that means no other appliances pulling from those amperage, right? When the machine gets up in the higher cutting ranges, it's getting closer to 20. Super important to have. Other than that, it's the basics, right? 6 inches behind the machine, so there's air flowing. Make sure you have your vent set up in a way that it's sealed enough that you're not gonna get fume blowback, things like that. Other than that, it comes with everything you need.
What happens if I get my MIRA 9 home, make a few amazing products, and it suddenly doesn't work anymore? What are my warranty and support options?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's my whole job. That's what I sit here doing all day. So support options, right, are pretty vast, from quick emails within 30 seconds of you emailing in, we'll get right back to you. To video calls, right? We'll schedule a video call, we'll walk through it with you. If you're local, like you are, yourself, we'll come up there and we'll help you fix it, things like that. There's always tools at our disposal. Warranties will vary by the part, right? So laser tubes, since we don't manufacture them other than the ceramic core ones, going to be warranted for the period the manufacturer lets us. Everything else is a 2-year warranty on the parts.
So now it's time to get this thing together and get it loaded up in the truck. Since we're local, we hired local movers. We can't lift 500-600 pounds in 2 crates by ourselves, and we were afraid to put it in the back of our pickup truck, to be honest. But if you got a trailer, a lot of people have done it. Here it is. This is our stand and our MIRA 9 S Redline Series. It's a pretty brutal looking crate, right? They had to take a forklift to get it out of the warehouse. So there's a loading dock in the back here. Normally they load these things up onto shippers' trucks. But since we had our own mover guy with us tonight, they were kind enough to bring it down and help us get it on the trailer.
We hired a local moving company with some really strong men. They used shoulder harnesses to walk the MIRA 9 out of the trailer and into our garage like it was nothing. The stand was a lot lighter and a lot easier to get out of the truck, and once it was unloaded, we went right into uncrating it.
So we did opt for the Aeon or EMP stand, which does have wheels available, which makes it so much easier to move this around. Because you never really know where it's going to be initially when you get it out of the crate and out of the box. And actually, we moved it twice already. So these wheels, these are heavy-duty industrial wheels on the bottom of these stands, and they're made to hold weights upwards of 500 pounds. So highly recommend picking this thing up rather than trying to put it on your own workbench or something else that may not support the weight. These things have been great, and you can lower them too where they become permanent. And there's also standoffs on these things, these adjustable. So you got to make sure that it's completely level. Otherwise, your engravings and cuttings may not come out perfectly. So great looking stand. Also, there's storage in here too, which is amazing. Now it's time to lift it out of the crate.
And once the laser was uncrated, and with the help of those shoulder harnesses again, these two young men lifted the MIRA 9 onto the stand and set it in place. And it was so easy to move the laser around the garage on that stand, and we checked the level on top to make sure it was good.
Getting it out of the crate was easier than we thought. Now it's time to take all the goodies from the inside of your Aeon laser and figure out what all this stuff is done. First thing you want to do is cut this little wire tie here. That's holding the laser head to the gantry. But leave these two alone. Do not cut those. Those are going to hold your air hose down, your air assist hose. And this is your key, your magical key to turn it on and off. So pop that in there so you don't lose it. You don't want to lose that. Otherwise, you won't be able to turn your machine on. And let's see what other goodies are in this box.
In the box, you'll find keys, tools, cables, a funnel, and safety glasses. And there were 2 Aeon t-shirts as well. To finish the unboxing process, we used the key to open the front of the machine so that we could remove the honeycomb bed, which had packing material underneath. It was time to fill the water chiller. Using the provided funnel and distilled water, we removed the cap on the back of the machine and filled it to the full line. It did take a full gallon of distilled water to fill it up. Next, we attach the exhaust hose using the provided clamp. It is a 6-inch hose and it's very long, which is super helpful. We vented our machine out the side door of our garage. It is recommended that you go out and up so that you're not causing issues for the neighbors, unless you're using a fume extractor, and then that's not a problem. It is recommended that you use a dedicated 20 amp breaker, which we had installed prior to having the laser delivered. Then using the key, we opened both side panels to remove the pins holding the gantry in place. It was just a matter of pulling the yellow straps off. We then removed the plastic from the outside and the inside of the lid, plugged the machine into the dedicated 20 amp outlet in our wall, released the emergency stop button, and turned the key to power the machine on for the first time in its new home. We removed the plastic cover from the control panel on the top of the machine and watched the gantry move into place. And we wanted to show you the 100-watt glass tube that's stored in the back of the machine. What's really impressive about the Aeon Redline machines is that they're toolless. You can change the lens and the tubes without any tools. We did a tube change at the Aeon showroom, but without an expert standing by, I was not interested in removing ours. We then removed the plastic on the outside of the honeycomb bed and inserted it back into the machine. We wanted to start cutting right away, so we used the provided USB cable to connect a laptop to the laser. You can set up Wi-Fi, but we were just too excited we were ready to go. In Lightburn, we were able to connect our device using the MIRA 9 USB profile that was provided. We placed a piece of wood in the laser and pressed the focus button on the control panel. You can see the laser touch the wood to complete the autofocus process. Like I mentioned earlier, our first project was to use the material test file provided with the machine. Again, it's the same file that Aeon used during their quality control process. We decided to also run that same material test file on a piece of clear acrylic. We were now ready to try creating our own first project. We made a circle sign in Lightburn with Aeon's logo. It would be made with black and white acrylic. The base circle would be black and the logo and letters would be white and glued onto the black circle. I'm sure there are a lot of tips and tricks we will learn as we dive in deeper. Peeling off the backing of the acrylic was a bit of a pain, but I did get it off. I intentionally cut the white acrylic with the circle. I did this to use it as a template to know exactly where to place the logo and the letters so that everything came out straight. And for our first project, I gotta say, I think it turned out pretty good. We are super excited to be a part of the Aeon Laser USA family.